Hello, everyone, and welcome to MG28 Talks Tech. And I hope wherever you are today, you are living the dream just like I am. My name is Mac, and I will be your host for these talks. With over a decade of experience in the technology profession, I am hoping to bring what I know to all of you in an easy-to-understand way. We will cover a wide variety of topics, so if you have anything you want covered, make sure to leave it in the comments section or hit me up on one of my social media accounts that will be in the description. If you enjoy these talks, make sure to like and subscribe or even share with a friend so we can reach others and make a fun and collaborative community here. We will get started in just a few seconds, so lean back, take a drink of your favorite beverage, and come along and take an adventure into our talk today. Alright guys, today we are talking about tracking pixels. And really this spurred from me seeing an article about Metapixel being involved in a health system data breach. Alright, so what tracking pixels are is they are a way for you to go to one website and look at maybe some products and then go back to your Facebook, for example, or your Twitter or your TikTok, and all of a sudden you see ads for different types of these products on your social media accounts and how that happens. So let's get into it and start with the actual article that made me want to do this topic. All right, everyone. So here is the first article that really spurred my want to do this topic. All right. I'm going to make sure that all the links to all the articles we go over is in the description so you guys can fully read over them later on. So this particular article is discussing how a health system data breach exposed PII and PHI data of 3 million patients. All right. So what that means is PII is personally identifiable information and PHI is protected health information. So that's pretty important information to get exposed. So let's scroll down here and look at what they're saying may have been exposed for each patient. So they're talking about things like communications between, healthcare providers using this MyChart system, and could include their first and last names and medical record numbers, their insurance information, medical provider information, types of appointments, proximity to the healthcare facilities, actual times and dates of scheduled appointments, and things like that. So PII is always considered information you don't necessarily want exposed, but especially PHI information is really important information we don't want to have exposed out there or involved in a data breach. And AAH is not the only healthcare provider that's been caught up in this. Right here, it talks about Novient Health actually had to do the same thing and disclose their improper usage, and that it could have exposed 1.3 million patients' information. All right, so the next article I want to go over is actually an article about a class action lawsuit that seems to be stemming from these breaches. And so in this article, it actually goes down to state that according to the lawsuit, neither the hospitals nor Meta informs the patients about data collection. No user consents are requested, and there's no visible indication of this process. So what I'm taking from this, now granted, I'm not a lawyer, but what I'm taking from this means that individuals would log in and start using these platforms or these applications and not be told that their information was being tracked and sent anywhere, or even that it was being used in any other way than what they thought. So maybe they were sending a message to their provider or they were updating insurance information. That was the only thing they thought was happening. They had no idea that those clicks and information were being used to have them targeted by ads. So that's a big deal. Like, my opinion is that we should always be asked or at least informed on how websites are using our information if it's not explicitly the intended use on the website. So, like if a login page is tracking your location, it should tell you, hey, can I track your location? Or tell you, hey, I am tracking your location. That way, you as the user have the option to either use that site or not use that site. And it's your determination, right? You have to weigh the pros and the cons or the risk on using that site. So farther down in this article, it actually has examples of what was happening to these patients or their users, however you want to address them. So they went and they used their provider site, and then they would go back to Facebook and maybe see an ad like this. And it wasn't even like all the ads they were seeing weren't even scientifically supported. So they were also getting emails, it looks like, based on just specific targeting based on their ailments or whatever information was provided. And so I'm sure you guys have seen maybe some ads from you going to, maybe Etsy or something like that. And then on your Facebook, you see more Etsy ads. The same thing was happening to these people, but it was based on the information they had been providing or looked at in their healthcare system. Now, I do want to say that Meta or Facebook are not the only ones that do data tracking or pixel tracking. Here is an article actually about a lawsuit against Google, who was also doing some tracking, but it was with biometric data, and they were also doing it without consent. So you have Google does it, Meta does it. I know TikTok also does it, and I'm sure there are other analytics that do this type of tracking. So let's really talk about what exactly is this pixel tracking. All right, so let's really dig into tracking pixels. First, let's start by talking what is a pixel. So a pixel actually is short for picture element. I just made it pixel to make that shorter. The Oxford Dictionary actually defines it as this: a minute area of illumination on a display screen, one of many from which an image is composed. So if I were to make this kind of put a picture in your head what a pixel was, the easiest thing I could think of is like it's little rectangles of color. And that color is a combination of red, blue, and green to create an image. So the image you're seeing is made up of, thousands of pixels. And all those pixels are just a combination between red, blue, and green to make the color for that pixel. And then all those pixels together make the image, right? So how are they using these pixels? Well, first, on the back end, usually I think in JavaScript is what they're using, they add this pixel tracking code. From there, when you visit a site, these little pixels that are designed for this pixel tracking code will then keep track of what you do on the website. So this can be anything from how long you scroll, can be what you click on, what you buy, and how long you were on the website. So why do they want all this information? One, it's to focus ads, right? So if they're using the Meta pixel, which would be for Facebook, Instagram, everything Meta owns, then when you go to Meta products, then those ads will be more focused to you. You guys have probably seen this. So you go and you look something up on Etsy, and then all of a sudden, you go to maybe your TikTok, and now you have some ads for whatever you're looking up on Etsy. Or if you go through Walmart or anything that you're scrolling through, you'll then start to see focused ads. They also do this for conversion rate. So conversion rate's going to be like how many times that ad is clicked on and somebody buys that product, right? That's ultimately what they want, is for you to see the ad, buy the product. And ads cost money for these companies. So if they can get the ads focused to who they think will most likely be a conversion for them, it saves them money. And not only saves them money, but it makes them money, right? Because they are buying their product. All right, so the next thing I really want to do is I want to show you guys kind of an example of looking to see if there are these tracking pixels on a website. I picked Etsy, so we're going to take a look at it, but I do want to put a kind of a disclaimer out there that it's not up to the individual Etsy stores on if these tracking pixels are used. It's the Etsy team who puts it on the entire website, all right? So let's click over here to my other screen. So you see I'm on Etsy.com here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go here to my settings, my more tools, and my developer tools. Go to sources, and I'm going to do a search here. I'm searching for pixel. And I know this might be a little bit, let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Let's see here. All right. So here on this screen, you can see TikTok Analytics object. So they are using TikTok Analytics actually on Etsy. And I know if we go through here, if you know what you're reading here, it'll actually go through and tell you everything that they're pulling. I'm not going to really go through that line by line with you guys today, but I just wanted to show you an example of a site that might be using these type of analytics, right? You wouldn't have thought, at least I didn't. I was kind of surprised when I first saw it that Etsy would be using TikTok analytics. And TikTok analytics is using that's a tracking pixel. That is the TikTok pixel. All right, everyone, that's all I have today. I hope you found it insightful and that you understand now what tracking pixels are and how they're being used. I really wanted to share those articles that really spurred this topic for me. I think it's important that we are all educated on how websites are using our data and what we're doing on their sites. So I hope this was informative. I hope it was helpful. If you found value in this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and to this video. And if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future videos, make sure to also leave a comment here or hit me up on social media. I'll make sure my social media accounts are put in the description. So until next week, I will talk to you guys later. Keep living the dream, my friends.